Oh, I'm so excited to be here, everybody. This is going to be fun when I get the right setting. Hey, everybody. How are we doing today? Oh my gosh, it's been a minute, hasn't it? In fact, it's been a while since I've done a show by myself. I've been on the channel for a few times with Julie. We've done some fun things recently, but I am back, everybody. I am so excited to see so many familiar names in the comments. It's absolutely warms my heart to see so many of you. And thank you for being patient as we sort of decided to step back a little bit and think about, hey, what do we really want to be creating for our StreamYard users, our fans, our audience? And we kind of decided that this show would be a great thing to kick off in 2023. And I'm just excited to say I'm back. So we're back again. So those of you that don't know me, my name is Melanie Dyann Howe. I am a live streaming, oh my gosh, a live streaming evangelist, right? And I am a mentor and a content contributor for StreamYard. And so absolutely love the StreamYard application to go live and now to do all kinds of other things, create podcasts, create videos, create clips, so many things you can do with StreamYard. I remember when StreamYard was fairly new to the market. And I remember when I first discovered it, and really it was just a live streaming tool. It was a way for you to go live and do things like share your screen and display comments and these banners and fun things like that. But it is so much more now. It has evolved into so much more. So another great reason why we decided that we wanted to create a marketing show, because again, it is more than live video now. There's so much more to marketing yourself and creating videos and being on YouTube or whatever you're doing than just live video. And StreamYard has evolved into more than just live videos. And so we want to make sure that we are serving you and helping you reach your goals and do the best things that you want to do with yourselves, including your live streaming journey. But today, I wanted to come on and talk to everybody about what this show is going to be, what it's going to be about, and talk about why it is so important that you are not just doing live videos. There's so much more to your success in reaching your goals than clicking go live. Yes, that is a big piece of it. I am a huge fan of live streaming. I think it is such an amazing way for you to market yourself or your business or your group or your community or whatever it might be. And that is exactly why I love live videos so much. But it's just not enough to just go live. There's so much more to it than that. We're going to talk about that today. And really, the premise of this entire show is really that it is going to be about all of the other things that you need to do, including live videos, to support yourself and to get to wherever you want to be. And that's exactly what the show is going to be. So today we're going to talk why that's important. I'm going to share some overarching things that I need to make sure that you're considering as you are basically venturing out this year. And this is going to be your year. I know it. And I hope that you look in the mirror every day and say, this is going to be my year. I hope you say that. I want you to say that. And I'm going to tell you basically what are the things that need to be focused on outside of just live videos. We're going to talk about those. But the good news is this: everything I talk about today is also an upcoming show. It's going to be an upcoming show as well. So we're going to be a little more high level today. And then I'm going to basically tell you that every show after this is a deeper dive into a lot of these topics. So if you hear all these things and you think, oh my gosh, she just told me I'm supposed to be doing this, but how do I do that? We got you. It's going to be coming up. We're going to have special guests on the show. I'm going to be bringing some big names onto the show to help you better market yourself. So, but first, before I get going into all that, I want to say hello to everybody, get back into these comments and check out what's going on. We've got all kinds of people here hanging out with me today. This is super, super fun. We have Steve Erie from the shores of Lake Erie. Fantastic. I'm going to guess that's why your YouTube channel is named Steve Erie. So super fun. And it looks like you're maybe a hunter or something, but we've got the Rockwell radio show hanging out from Atlanta. Thank you for being here today. Super great to see you. We've got Anna here as well. Lots of people that are fans of the StreamYard show and the platform. So many of you are here. This is so fantastic. I'm super excited. So Patrick is here from Beaverton, Oregon. Hello, Patrick, watching over on Facebook. We are multi-streaming today as usual. So we are actually live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, and we are live in our Facebook community. Are you part of the Facebook community? If not, make sure you join. Go over to Facebook and just search StreamYard, and you'll find the Facebook community over there. We're also live on LinkedIn, and I saw a couple people hanging out watching us live over on LinkedIn as well. So super excited to be here with you all today on all these different platforms. So wherever you're watching from, we're going to hang out and take a deep dive here. So we've got, we have Brazil in the house even. We've got the UK here. We've got people from all over the world. This is super great. Wing Tours Designs. She's from South Dakota. And I saw your comment earlier. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your support. We've got Robin here as well. It's good to see Robin here as well. I've got just so many people commenting, but we have a lot to cover today. So I want to jump in. And if you have a question, feel free to ask a question today as we are talking. Just put a Q in front of the question so that it's easy for me to see that you have a question, and I'll try to grab it and answer it for you. And we are going to be talking about, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about marketing today. Here's a question, honestly, right here that started out. Can we broadcast live to our website? You certainly can do that. Actually, you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can embed the live code into your site, and that would actually allow your live stream to be displayed on your website. You can also use the StreamYard On Air feature now, which is super awesome, which is basically a webinar aspect. We're not going to do a lot of deep dives on tutorials today in this show, but definitely make sure that you check out our YouTube channel, because there's all kinds of great content over there on the YouTube channel showing you how to utilize a lot of the features, a lot of the new features, which, by the way, did y'all notice this little new feature right here? Do you see that? A new little feature just dropped. They kind of like to sneak these little things in. But if you haven't logged into StreamYard lately, you will log in and it will pop up and tell you about the latest features. And that is actually a super awesome thing. But that is called the headline feature. So now you can actually create a little sub headline underneath your name. I mean, really, you could use your name as the headline and then the sub one as your name. You could switch them if you want, right? So like they're called let's see, it's in the brand tab. I want to look and see what it's called really quick. I thought this was so fun. They just dropped this. Okay, so show display names. So the display name is the big one, and then the show headline is underneath, and you can turn that on or off. So like I can turn that off if I want to and turn it back on if I want to. I'm going to leave it off actually because it's just kind of cleans it up a little bit. But how fun is that? I love that feature. You can do a lot of cool things with that, get really creative with it. So I definitely see some questions coming in, and I will start to pin those and I'll go through. And as long as they're pretty relevant to what we're talking about today, I will definitely, check. Gosh, you guys are just chiming in already. I love it. Yeah. So Doug at SmackDown Outdoors says, that's awesome. So you can have your guest name and company. That is correct. This feature does also apply to when you have a guest on. They can have their name, they can have their website, they could put the company name, all kinds of stuff in that little subhead line. And like I said, you can also reverse it. If you wanted the company name to be larger and the name of the person to be smaller, you would just put the content in the opposite fields, right? So super great. So super fun. Okay, let's see. I am starring your questions so that I can pin those down, and I will jump in and we will start talking today. So here's the deal. Why do I want to talk about this today? So I want to talk about like, why is this show so important? Because here's the thing. Many of you have businesses, or you're trying to make money, or you're trying to get your message, shared out there, and you really want to make sure that people know what you have to share. Well, there's just more to it. And I want to make sure that I help you reach those goals. And so here's the way I want you to think about it. The reason why I say live streaming is not enough. It's just not enough to click go live. That's what the today's show is about. It's the premise of Master Your Marketing with Melanie, which is what the name of this show is. That is going to be, by the way, every other Friday. So it is going to be twice a month, every other Friday. Well, the first and third Fridays of the month. If there happens to be a month where we get an extra Friday, we'll figure that out when we cross that bridge. Either way, first and third Friday, noon Eastern time. So put that in your calendar. So I'll be here again in 2 weeks, right here, same time, same place, just on a different day. So, anyways, let's go through this. I've got a little bit of an analogy to talk about. I love analogies, by the way. I personally love to use analogies to describe what I'm trying to tell, the story I'm trying to tell. It just helps me get it out of my head. So hopefully you like analogies too, because I'm full of them all the time. All right. This is your shop. Let's think of whatever it is you're doing. I want you to think of you're on Main Street in the little cute downtown, wherever you are, and you have a store. And that is exactly how I want to use the analogy today. So if you're live streaming and you're clicking go live and that's all you're doing, that is like you driving to work every day, going in the back door, turning the lights on, flipping the little open sign, sitting in there behind the desk, the counter, and basically you have this great store and you have all this stuff and you've turned the lights on, and maybe you even have like a little sign out front. But see the little sign right there? Right there? You've got a little sign out there, and you're just sitting and waiting for everybody to come. And then they come and somebody might walk in and you talk to them and then they leave, and that's it. That's you just sitting in your store and talking to customers after they come in is kind of like the way it is if you have a channel and you're just clicking go live and going live, and that's it. There's so much more to marketing a business and being successful than just driving to work every day, turning the lights on and sitting in your store waiting for the customers to come, right? Instead, there are so many things. You could create a website. You could be online. You could have social media channels. You could be creating videos. You could be doing ads if you really wanted to. You could even walk down the street and talk to the neighboring businesses and give them a flyer or tell them about your store or offer a trade discount. Hey, if you bring customers to me, I'll offer them a discount if they show that they are a customer of you or whatever, right? So again, there's so many ideas. You probably have ideas. What ideas do you have about how a little retail business can market themselves, right? You can even sell product online. Even though you have a brick and mortar store, you can still sell your product online, pack it up and ship it. You can also attract people to come in, right? You can get out in the community. You can go to networking events and tell them about your store. What is it that you do? That's the other thing. You have to go tell people what it is you do. You have to go out and share about your store. It's not enough to just drive in, go in the back door, turn the lights on, and flip the sign that says you're open. You can also get even more creative, do some lights around the window, do some fun stuff, stand out front of your store, invite people into your store. Are you doing that? Are you actually telling people about your channel? Are you sharing about it with people? Or are you a little nervous about sharing it because it makes you feel weird, right? So many of us are afraid to say, I have a YouTube channel, I have a business, I have a this, I want you to come check me out. Many of us are afraid to do that. And so, in this show, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about all the different methods and all the other things, all the other creative ways that you can be marketing yourself so that you get more live viewers, which means you're going to build a better community. You're going to be able to nurture your audience and you're going to be able to make more money. Now, some of you might be like, well, I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because, I just am really passionate about my mission and I just want to share my work, my information with the world. That's fantastic. That's actually where we start. Where we start is, what is your purpose? What are your goals? Some of you have channels that are very hobby centric, meaning it's very much a hobby that you're doing. You are really just doing it for fun. You're not necessarily trying to make money, but you think it's fun to create videos and to be online and to live stream and to talk with people. It could be so much more. And your goals are not necessarily to make money, but your goals are to get more people to watch your content, right? That's the whole point. There's no point in going live if you don't want people to come watch it, right? So everybody has goals. Some of you are playing small with your goals, right? And we're going to talk about that quite a bit in this show, in an upcoming show. And some of you have really big goals. I would love to see in the comments, why are you even doing what you're doing? Tell me what it is. Do you want to make a bunch of money? Do you want to make an impact on the world? So again, if you may not be in it for the money, maybe you have, like I said, you have just a really strong mission, an opinion about something, and you want to share it. Well, don't you want more people to hear your thoughts? Don't you want to make a greater impact? So again, even if it's for fun, it's fun, but you're trying to show it to people. You're trying to share it with people. So you want to share it with more people. So regardless of what your goals are, you have to consider all these other things for it to go where it can go. Also, again, if you are one of those people that is keeping everything kind of small and at bay, I want to challenge you to think bigger. I want to challenge you to think bigger. You know, can it be something bigger? Can it turn into a business? Can it turn into something that creates financial freedom for yourself, right? So think about that. Why are you here? So let's see. The Creator Classroom says, make money for the mission. There you go. Exactly. So the money can totally help you with your mission as well, right? What are some of your goals? I'm going to pin a few more comments into the questions queue, and I will definitely check in on that. Cynthia from Purgatory Paranormal of New York is here. It's so good to see you hanging out with us live. It's so good. I love seeing I've missed you all. I've missed many of you. So, okay, let's see. I am grabbing some questions and looking for relevant questions to what we're talking about today. Let's see. Good question. Good question. Good question. I want to see these goals in the comments here. I want to see these goals in the comments. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. Good stuff coming in the comments. I love it. James Hicks is here. Good to see you, my friend. Okay. This is a good idea. The Career Classroom says you can wear a fun costume and have fun right outside the door. Totally true. Wearing that costume, putting on a costume is an activity. It is a tertiary activity to what you're trying to do, and it is going to support what your cause is. I 100% love it. Okay, looking at it. So Moon Over Miami says yes for fun. So for fun, that one is there. Rebecca says world impact. Love it. I love how you used world in that. World impact. I love it. Let's see. John says, we want to turn our live stream into a real TV show. Perfect. I love this idea. I love this example because so many people, I think, are creating content and they're not really thinking about, they're not allowing themselves to think bigger. Like you think about like HGTV, right? All these people that, like, some of these people were just real estate agents and they ended up, now they're on a show helping people buy houses. Some of them were just, they had a little interior design business in their local little town and it turned into a TV show. Look at Chip and Joanna Gaines. They started out like that, literally started out like that. Now she has like a cooking show. They have a whole entire network, right? Do you think that if she kept herself playing small and I'm just going to help my local community and I'm just going to help some friends with their houses, if she kept it there, she wouldn't be where she is today. You never know what can happen. An opportunity creates another opportunity that creates another opportunity. So always be thinking about that. Let yourself dream big. Let yourself dream big. This is good. Career Classroom says, for fun is great. The why for others is great. But if you can't afford a keyboard when yours breaks for editing, then it helps if you're monetized in some way. Yes. I mean, I hate to say it, but money is fairly required in a lot of things, right? The Cutting Force Lawn Service says, second income and context with the lawn care community. I like it. I like it. Okay. Jason says, I want to build the best independent radio for indie artists of all genres. Fantastic. I love how you said, I want to build the best independent radio. I love that. That's big. That's thinking big. Nicole is all here for the impact. Fantastic. Love it. Making money. We've got make history accessible to the masses. Awesome. Love that as well. Get more viewers so it could be easier to make money. Exactly. More viewers, more stuff. Rob says, just love talking about football. I love that you love talking about football. But you know what's fun is love to talk about football as a career. There you go. That's the goal. His why is I like talking about football. That's his passion, but he wants to turn it into a career. Exactly. Absolutely. Marianne says financial freedom to be able to be on our own timetable and also be financially ready to help my parents later down the track. I love it. Long-term goal for sure. I love that. Absolutely. I love how you're thinking about that. Okay. Creative Lady says, continue to create my lane as a brand ambassador since I love shopping and sharing products I love. I like that. I like that. That's fantastic. Okay. We've got lots more stuff. World impact, all kinds. I love these goals. I love these goals. This is a good one right here. Okay. I wanted to share this one. She says, I paper craft. I want to encourage others to send and share happy mail. So again, she has a passion she likes to do, but she's trying to help others do something that's going to help others, right? So many of us, there's a ripple effect to what we're doing. There's a ripple effect, even if it's what I like to call, if your mission is just a warm and fuzzy mission, right? It's all about the feels and you're just trying to, it's a feel good thing. You have a purpose. Making other people feel good is going to make them feel good. And then you never know what you're going to empower them to do. You might make them happy. You might just create calm for them. Your content might just be a calming channel and you're going to help somebody, which is then going to allow them to unlock whatever it is inside of them that they're supposed to be out doing. Right. So there's a huge mission, no matter what it is. So many people, when I talk to people, I go to events and I say, tell me about your channel. Tell me about your stuff. Tell me about what it is you do. And I hear so many people give me this like, oh, it's just a little blah, blah, blah. I just do it for fun and yada, yada. I say every once in a while I'll do this. Think bigger, think deeper. There's so much more there to it. So anyways, I'm not going to stay on this soapbox forever because literally I could talk about it forever. So, but we will talk about this. Again, everything I talked to you about today is going to be an upcoming show. It's going to be a deeper dive. Right now, I'm just giving you a bit of an overview. I want you to be thinking a little more globally outside of live video. You have to be connected to your purpose. You have to be connected to your why. You have to have goals. If you don't, you're just going to idle. Okay. You're going to stay idle. And here's why. The reason you will stay idle is because you won't be able to do the next thing. If you have goals, if you know your purpose, if you know why you're even doing it in the first place, and you think bigger and think deeper, okay, then you won't be able to be intentional and strategic, okay? So being intentional and being strategic with your content is critical in order for you to hit those goals, make more money, sell more products, get more speaking engagements, make a bigger difference in the world, a bigger world impact, right? Getting outside of your local community. If you cannot be strategic, then you can't be intentional. And if you can't be intentional, you're going to idle. You're going to be one of those people who says, I go live all the time, like you tell me to, Melanie, and nobody ever shows up to my live videos. I'm still hovering at 25 subscribers. No, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working because you're not doing all the other things. So again, it's more than just going live. And in order to figure out what all the other things are, bingo, you have to be intentional and strategic. Now, I will tell you that the next show I do here on February 17th, is that right? Let me look at the calendar. I have that in my head. 17th. Yes, the 17th. We are going to be talking about this. We're going to talk mostly about setting a foundation for yourself so that you can start to figure out what all the other things that you need to be doing. Because just because you see somebody else doing it one way doesn't necessarily mean you should be doing it that way as well. So I'm going to give you some ideas today to be thinking about. But this topic right here, coming in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about how do we get intentional? How do we get strategic? We're going to set the foundation. I'm going to educate you on the foundation so you can then go and figure out what else you want to be doing besides just clicking go live. And I know many of you are already doing other things as well, but you're still here too. There's a reason for you to be here as well. So, okay. I am definitely going to keep going. Ooh, this is exciting. Hold on. Got to give a quick shout out. She says, I've scheduled to go live for the first time at the end of this month. That is awesome. Fantastic. You have an entire month to plan it. You have a short month to plan it. You picked February, but this is going to be fantastic. Congratulations to you. Very excited for you to come back and tell us how it went for you, for sure. So, okay, now being intentional and being strategic. What this means is you basically, I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm going to give you an example and we're going to go back to our little shop, right? We're going to go back to our little shop. So if you have this store, and an example of being intentional and strategic is you sit down and you look at the calendar. If you're in retail, if you have a store, let's say you have a jewelry store. Yep, you got a jewelry store and maybe like a little boutique, right? It's got maybe some jewelry and a few other things, some accessories, right? When are some pretty key times for your store? Let me think. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, holidays, Christmas, gift giving, right? Yeah. So these are intentional things. You can't sit there and be like, oh my gosh, Valentine's Day is in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I have this great idea. I just thought of it. I wish I would have thought of it 2 months ago so I had time to prepare. Well, you can if you sit down with a calendar and you look at everything and you say, all right, here's my busy times. Here are the times when I should do sales because I want to cycle through new stuff. And here are my slow months because I know when I'm slow. And if you're in retail, it's probably June and July, just so you know, by the way. June is the slowest month of the year. Well, one, that's a great time for you to take a vacation. Bingo, right? So be thinking about that too, because a lot of this intentionality is also thinking about yourself. So you would look at the calendar and you would know the trends. You would know ahead of time what you want to be doing. If you're going to do a Valentine's promotion, you can't wait till Valentine's Day to start promoting it. Start teasing the products, start teasing the things that you want to be selling earlier. Start educating people, create a gift giving guide, create a 20 ideas for her, whatever it is, right? By the way, I hate Valentine's Day. I actually think it's a silly holiday. I always have, but it's a great excuse to get flowers. I do love to get flowers. But anyways, my point is you could create all these cool things and start putting them out there in January. Why? Because you want to be the person that they think of. You want to be the shop that they know they're going to shop for Valentine's Day in. And if you don't start talking about Valentine's Day until right before, they've already made their mind up. They're already hanging out in some other store down the road. They're already in somebody else's shop because all you've been doing is sitting back behind the counter waiting for people to come in, right? So again, this is an example of you being strategic and intentional. Intentional is knowing February is a big month for you. Being strategic is how am I going to plant the seeds so that when it comes time to shop, when that sale drops, boom, people are going to come flocking in, running through the front doors they're going to be running down the street, running through the front doors, so excited to buy from me, right? And so that's being strategic and intentional. You will absolutely and can absolutely do the exact same thing with your online content and everything else. Again, we're going to take a deep dive about what this means. So if you have certain promotions you want to do, you have certain things you're trying to launch, all kinds of stuff, you need to be strategic with your content. You might need to be doing live shows about certain topics, certain times of year. Doug at SmackDown Outdoors, right? He does ice fishing. He's a hunter. He has guests come on his show. He has to plan that stuff, right? He's got to be intentional and strategic. He's not going to talk about deer hunting stuff in January. He's going to talk about deer hunting stuff like a month or two before hunting season begins because he's trying to prep people who are getting excited about hunting season opening up. Ice fishing. He's not going to talk about ice fishing in May He's probably going to start talking about ice fishing during the time when it's going to start to get colder. Now I think that if I'm not mistaken, Doug is in Minnesota, so it's cold in May. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you would talk about it somewhere else, but you get my point. He's got to be thoughtful about the different topics and when he talks about those topics, because he's got to align them to his audience, and also his content needs to align to his big picture. Those are examples of being intentional and being strategic, right? Okay. Looking at the comments, I'm all in today. So normally I would be way more engaged with all of you in the contents. Marcos, hello. It's great to see you. Great to have you here as well. And I will tell you, I would love to be here more in the comments, but there's so much I want to talk to you about today. And we're on a little bit of a schedule right now, right? There you go. Doug says every major company buys a year or two in advance. That's another thing, is that if you're marketing to, you've got to think about the customer journey. That is what we're talking about in 2 weeks on the 17th. So mark your calendar, noon Eastern, February 17th. We're going to be here. We're going to be talking about this. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is, how do you identify your customer journey, and how do you know? And I'm going to help you figure out how to be strategic and intentional for sure. Some people, the journey's long. Some people, the journey is short and quick. So, okay. I'm just checking in real fast. Okay. I am going to pin comments, questions, pin. I keep saying pin, star them. And I definitely want to make sure that I get to some of your questions. Okay. So let's keep going, right? Shall we keep going? Is this helping? Is this good? Is it do I have your mind going? That's the whole point here today, is I want to get your mind going. I want to get the thoughts flowing in your head. And I hope that you will then start to just flood me with questions. Tag me in the community, just tag me wherever you want, and just flood me with those questions, because I want your brains churning, and I want your brain to be buzzing after today's show. And I want you to be thinking of all kinds of things. And then, as I said, this show is going to be about helping you on this journey. So, okay. Now I want to talk about some things that I want to make sure. So these are more specific things. These are strategies. These are the non-live video things, right? Because the whole point of today is, I want you to know that just going live is not enough to get you the results you want. Now you have to know what results you want. That's all about being having those goals. Then you need to be intentional with how you're going to get those results. I want to share with you some things that I want you to be thinking about, because again, another thing I run into, it is becoming more and more of a issue. I don't want to be negative, but those of you that know me, you know I'm not afraid to give some tough love, right? I'm not afraid to give some tough love. I also talk really fast, so I hope you're along for the ride, right? Just try to speed up your ears, I guess. But here's we go. So often anymore, it's worse than it used to be, because I have been helping people with marketing themselves for 10 years now. It'll be 10 years this year that I started helping people market themselves and put themselves out there. So 10 years ago, small businesses, this problem I'm about to talk about was not as bad as it is today. Today, I run into so many people that do not have a website. Okay. Especially in today's world where it can easily feel like but I have a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook group. I have a this, I have a that. People buy my products when I'm on my shows. I have my links to my stuff down in the descriptions. I don't need a website. I'm just here. Why do I need a website? So many more people you're not thinking of your content like a business. And it is a business. We talked about, some of you, your purpose is more, touchy feely. It's a little bit more about, it's mission driven. Some of you are like, I want to make money. I want to sell products. I want to sell courses. I want to sell my coaching. I want to, get gigs. I want to get on TV. I want to do all the things. You need to think of everything as a business, and every business should have a website. Okay. Now, some of you are like, website just sounds really hard. It sounds expensive. What would I even put on there? Oh, right? Are you feeling that? Is it feeling heavy for you? Let me talk through this with you. Okay. I'm just going to I'm going to use one of the examples that I heard earlier. I forgot your name. I think it was, hold on. Was it John? Somebody wants their show to go on TV. I think it was John, who wants his live show that he's doing to become a real TV show. Well, I want you to think of your live show already as a real TV show. It just hasn't been picked up by the station you want just yet. Because all of us have an opportunity right now. All of us have an opportunity to essentially be a star. Okay? Just because you haven't, I mean, think about it. Think about people who are trying, their goal is to be in a big movie and win an Oscar one day. They have to think of themselves as a star right now, even though they're maybe just doing commercials or they're like they're just a local spokesperson for something, but they're trying to get bigger gigs. You have to think of yourself as a star now. You just haven't been discovered just yet, but you're already a star. You don't become a star just because you finally get the big gig. You are already a star. It's just that the right people haven't discovered you yet to say, we want you in our movie. And then you haven't gotten the Oscar yet because the people, the audience, haven't seen you in that movie just yet. But you're a star today. You're already a star. You just haven't been discovered yet. Websites are how it's how you legitimize yourself. Okay, Bowling with the Fef says, I need a website. Yep. Okay, you need a website. Because Bowling with the Fef, if people discover him and they see all his stuff and he's out there and he's doing his thing, and then they're like, I need to learn more about that guy. I need to learn more about that. Nope, there's nothing there. There is nothing there, is there? You know what? Bowling with the Fef is? Bowling with the Fef is the quiet little store hanging out on the street just with the lights on. But nobody knows to walk down that street. And if they do walk down that street, what if I guess the analogy here would be they see your store, but they don't know what it's about. They can't even get in. They can't figure it out. So they're going to go research it. They can't research it because there's nothing to research. There's nothing to figure out. Also, it simply does, it just doesn't, it doesn't make you look and feel as legitimate. There's a few reasons why you need a website. The number one is it legitimizes you. Let's say somebody is trying to get speaking gigs. Your website is going to be all about who you are, what you talk about, and how they can actually contact you to book a speaking gig. I can't tell you how many times I see somebody's channel, I see their stuff, and I'm like, this is so cool. I would love to reach out to this person. And there is no way for me to reach out to them. I go to the about page. There's nothing, the about tab. There's hardly anything there. There's no website. There's nothing there. So then I got to go like Google stalk them on Facebook. And then I find them and turns out I can't connect with them there either. So nobody has that kind of energy. Nobody has that kind of time. So again, for you to get those goals and for you to get to that place, you got to have other aspects. It's not just enough to be live. They got to be able to go do other things. Think about your own behaviors. Think about how you research stuff. Think about how somebody tells you about a restaurant, you go look for it. You look for it and you find it online and you stalk it and you check it out. And what do you want to do? You want to see the menu, don't you? You want to look at that menu before you go because you want to make sure, one, it's the right kind of food and you want to make sure it's the right price point for you. And then you might even say, I want to see some pictures of what this place looks like inside because I don't want to walk in there, one, and not know how I'm supposed to be dressed. And two, I just want to check out the vibe. What if none of that information was out there for you to research? Would you go to that restaurant? Most likely not. Most likely not. Most likely not, right? It's no different than you as a content creator. You should have a website. Again, we are definitely going to take a deep dive on this, and we're going to talk about websites. We're going to talk about how easy it is to make them these days. But I'm saying this, I'm seeing it as a huge problem. People are creating content, they're doing something, they're even making a business, but then they don't have this website. So I hope to God that social media doesn't break on them. And I really hope to God that social media doesn't just one day decide we're not going to let you go live anymore. Because now how will you be out there? How will you connect with people? A website is home base. A website is where you can put products to sell. A website is where you can have subscriptions. A website is where you can sell a membership. A website is where you can let people learn more about you, connect with you deeper, all kinds of things. It's home base. So when you're out online, you should be driving them back to home base, right? When you go do your thing, they need to be able to go to the website. They can get to your social channels from your website, right? So think of your website as home base. Now, another thing that goes along with this, right, that you need to be thinking about that kind of goes right there with it is you need to be building an email list. Now, I know I am making some of y'all uncomfortable because some of you are like, an email list, email marketing. No, what are you talking about? I don't know the first thing about email marketing. What would I do? What would I send to people? Oh, I get emails all the time and I hate spam. I hate junk mail. I'm always unsubscribing from things. Yes, but then there's also emails that you're not. There's also emails that you like getting, and there's also emails that are informing you of things, right? Email lists are important for a number of reasons. One, what if social media goes down? What if you have something really important to say? And what if people didn't find your content? Because the way people find our content is they subscribe and they click on that get notification, but they have to be available in that moment when that live video goes up. Two, they find us organically through research, and we have to be ranking. We have to have good titles, SEO, all that stuff. That stuff's hard, right? What if someone says, okay, I'm going to follow their Instagram, I'm going to follow their YouTube. We only see like 2%. Did you know that the people who follow you, like 2% of them actually see your stuff? That's pretty crazy, right? An email list is just another way for you to have more control over communicating with your people. Also, an email list is a way for you to understand they are not just people who are just driving by watching your video that was about one thing that they were interested in and they're leaving. If they go as far as to subscribe to your email list because you've given them a reason to, then they are what we call a warm lead, right? Not to get too business technical on you, but people that are just driving by or they're doing research and they found your video about that. I'm going to pick on Doug at SmackDown Outdoors because I'm quite frankly getting very antsy about the weather and I'm ready to go fishing. And those of you that know me knew that my pinky was broken all year last year and I had 2 surgeries. It's finally healed so I can do golf and fishing and all the things. So anyway, fishing, right? They drove by because they saw that one video where you were talking about, fly fishing, and they were researching it and they figured out, oh, thank you for helping me. And then they're done. Right. But if somebody decides, oh, I really like this, I really like what he's talking about, I'm going to check out his other videos. And then you also have this email list and you're like, hey, also subscribe to my emails for even more great tips and goodness. And they subscribe to your email list. It's like a little step further in the commitment, right? It's a little step further in their connection with you. And so you know that the people on your email list are more likely to become buyers and customers. And we're going to talk more about that next week as well. So we are definitely going to be talking about email marketing and list building and methods to do it, but you need to be thinking about this. And I don't want you to discount this. So many people. So less and less people are creating websites these days, and even less people are doing email marketing these days. And they are still 2 of the most important things for you to become a business, to think of yourself like a business. Even if you don't consider yourself somebody who's selling anything, imagine if you could send an email out on Monday to say, don't forget to tune in to Wednesday's show. I'm going to be talking about mission, my mission driven message, about whatever on Wednesday night, make sure you tune in. You send them that email. They're gonna be like, oh, sweet. I'm really interested in that one. I'll definitely make sure I tune in. Even if it's just to remind people of things, or, hey, here's your weekly tips of goodness. I'm going to, you share inspirational thoughts. Email marketing can be so many different things. Again, we will have a show with an expert talking about email marketing, list building, as it's called, and how you actually get those subscribers. How do you get people to join your list? How do you incentivize that process for them? And how do you use your email list to get more subscribers and followers on social, but also more money, more buyers, right? More buyers. Okay. Checking in. Okay. I see lots of questions. I'm going to get to questions in a moment. Oh, this is a good one. This is actually funny. Make sure your about section is coherent too. That's where I go to find out about most people. Yes, 100%. I agree. On your YouTube channel, make sure that about section is there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. This is cool. Good group chats are good things to build on too, but you have to realize that some people won't get along. So you have to be proactive. That is absolutely true. So that's what I would call a community, right? So you want to build community for sure. Okay. Let me check out everybody real quick. Oh, yes. You guys are having so fun. And Robin is cracking me up. She says, hello, my name is Robin and I am the shop. I love it. So I was using my shop analogy, been using that all day for sure. So, okay, let's see. Yes, the website is critical for email list building. You need a website, especially so you can capture people's email. They do go together. Technically, you don't have to have a website to gather people's emails. You can, most of the email platforms out there will allow you to just actually create a little landing page that's just driven by them. So technically you don't, but I totally think you should have a website. I think they go together hand in hand for sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is good. The Creator Classroom says, I need a deep dive on this, especially if there are free options. There actually are free options for lots of things out there. Free is not always the right way to go, but they almost all have what's called a freemium style where you can start out for free. And then when you're ready for certain features or you get to a certain place and you're ready, then you can upgrade and get some of the paid features. Just like StreamYard. StreamYard is free to use, but you are limited to some of the features. And so when you're ready to graduate to some of those other features and you're ready to take more control of the branding, then you start to pay. But to get started, you can do almost anything to start out for free. So many of these programs have freemiums where you can start out for free and pay later. So totally agree. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to keep going. Here are a few other things I want you to think about. We're talking about how just going live is not enough. Going live is, while scary, is really easy. It's honestly, even for myself, I find going live easier than scripting out or planning a video, recording it, editing it, blah, blah, blah. If I had it my way, I would plan out the content and I would just go live. Also, because I enjoy the live interaction, the live chat, the live talking with you, right? And so that's my favorite thing. So I can easily fall into the trap of just doing live videos, but we need to be creating other content as well. So if you're just doing live, you will get success. People will find you, people will watch it. But again, if we want to maximize your success, if we want to get better and bigger results, then we need to do more. Ugh, I hate saying that because it just gives you all the icky feelings, doesn't it? You're like, more? What? I can barely do what I'm doing now. Don't be sitting here telling me I got to do more. There are ways to make this efficient. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to have shows about productivity, about repurposing content, about getting more from your efforts instead of it taking more energy and more time. We're going to talk about being smarter about all this. You're going to be a smarketer. You're going to be a smarter marketer. You're going to be a smarketer after you watch these shows. I bring these guests on and we talk about all these things. You are going to become a smarketer. There you go. I like it. Okay. So what does it mean what do I mean when I say create other content? What I mean is you should also be considering things like having a podcast. You should consider things like conducting webinars, doing paid workshops, right? You should be considering doing other social content. You should be considering taking your live streams, actually taking clips from those live streams, uploading them to Reels or TikTok or the YouTube Shorts, right? Repurposing some of this, create other content. Now, some of you already have a podcast. I know Doug from SmackDown Outdoors, who I'm just going to keep picking on today, has a podcast, right? I will tell you right now that when you can create these different versions of content, it all works together. And so let me explain what I mean. Your social media posts, your stories, your reels, your TikToks, even your YouTube shorts. Think of them as like all the little like you're reaching out to the masses and they're giving people all these little samples of you, right? They see that, they're like, "Oh, so that attracts them to decide I'm going to go check that person out." And because you have a website and they can find your website, they're going to go to your website and they're going to see, "Oh, sweet. This person has a podcast. Oh, awesome. That's like totally kind of stuff I love. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to go find it right now and subscribe." So then they also see you have social channels. They might subscribe there. They start listening to your podcast. And on the podcast, you mentioned last week, today's episode is actually, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to share with you an interview I just did with, so-and-so. And we talked about blah, 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 blah. And we did this live. This was a fun live show inside my Facebook group or inside my private membership. And you're gonna be like, "What? I want to be a part of that," because you're only going to hear part of the interview. And then at the end of that podcast episode, they're going to say, "Hey, to get the rest of the interview, go check it out on YouTube or go join my Facebook group on Facebook or whatever." And then you're like, "I want to hear the rest of that." So then you're going to go over and you're going to be like, "Oh, sweet. The YouTube channel is awesome. Look at this. I could have watched this live and I could have asked questions live." Or they're going to go into your Facebook group and they'll be like, "Sweet. Look at this community I'm part of. Other people that are interested in XYZ as well." But they learned about it on the podcast. All this stuff, it could be the other way around. You could be on your YouTube channel talking about, last week I talked about blah, blah, blah on my podcast. And today I just wanted to take questions about that. So what questions do you have about blah, blah, blah? And you're like, "What? They have a podcast? I'm going to go check that out." Right? You're driving traffic to everything else. You're maximizing. Some people want to hear about a message. They don't want to watch a message. They want to listen to a message. Some people want to watch a message. They don't want to listen to a message in their earbuds. But I will tell you that the reason why I love podcasts and the reason why I think podcasts and videos go together so well is that there's something about seeing somebody and seeing their emotion and seeing their passion or seeing the visuals or seeing the tutorial that's really great. But there's also something about hearing a message and just hearing audio and not being distracted by or overstimulated by other things. It almost resonates deeper. I will tell you that, on my podcast, when I used to podcast regularly, I would talk about something on a podcast episode and I would talk about it in a live video. And people would say, "Oh, you talked about that. I heard you talk about that on your podcast." And it was like, it really resonated with me, even though you talk about it all the time on your show. Right. But the episode, there's something about the enrichment of a podcast and about the way people consume it. So again, having a podcast, it might just be a different way that you can reach somebody. But what's super cool about StreamYard, and one of the things I love about StreamYard, is you literally can record videos, do live streams. You can export the audio and convert it to a podcast. You can totally do that so easily with StreamYard. So again, I'm not asking you necessarily to go do two totally different things, but I'm saying maybe consider making your videos also podcast episodes, right? And I know some of you are already doing that. So I do know that for sure. So definitely for sure. Winged Horse Design says, not related to today's topic, but one day, could you do a simple explanation of the differences between lives, podcasts, webinars, etc.? Absolutely. Absolutely, we will do that for sure. I can definitely do that. Let's see. Good stuff in here. Okay. So this is related to this. Says crazy for you yarns. Well, isn't that fun? I feel like I'm not saying that correctly. Why do I feel like super uneducated right now? But yeah, I think I said you. It's you. Okay. Crazy for you. Crazy for you yarns. Is that how you say it? You. Okay. Sorry, guys. Do you think it's okay to just post audio from a live as a podcast? Do you have to edit out interactions with the live viewers? Okay, this is actually a great question. And we are going to be talking about podcasting on this show. We're going to be talking about best practices. To give you a really short answer, I think it depends on the content. It also depends a little bit on how good you are with that interaction. There's a woman out there, Stacy Tushel. She repurposes a lot of her live streams and she doesn't really edit anything out of them, but she also doesn't do a ton of live interaction, right? She also doesn't, do what I just did, like go off topic with like, "Oh, I'm going to scroll out for a moment on how to pronounce so she's really good at being super focused, probably because she knows she's repurposing it into a podcast. But if there was a whole lot of interaction that didn't have anything to do with the topic, I would probably edit that kind of stuff out. So it kind of depends, to answer your question really quickly. And I do know what it is. I just don't know how to say it. You pronounced you. Okay, there it is. You. We got it. Everybody, it's pronounced you. Now you know. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So podcasting is a zero-sum game too. It's not nearly as fun as YouTube. Can't show off personality as much on audio only. I would agree. There's certain things you just can't do with audio. But I will say, again, as I mentioned, there is something about people consuming content in an audio format that it tends to sink in better. And they don't get as distracted because typically they're listening while they're driving, they're listening while they're walking on a treadmill, or just doing cleaning. They're doing something that when we're watching something, we're typically distracted by so many other things because we're sitting on a computer or sitting on our phone. So there is beauty in the audio, but there are some things you just simply can't do in audio. So you're totally correct. Okay. So what else? So other content I talked about podcasting. I want you to think about recording videos, doing just shorter pre-recorded videos, tutorials. That works really well especially for getting that organic reach out there. Live videos and live streams don't typically go viral. Live streams don't typically get the amount of views, right, that a pre-recorded video would do. For example, today's live stream is going to hopefully get 1,000 views. Some of my old lives have gotten up to 6,000 views over time. But we have some pre-recorded content that's out there that's a tutorial video that has tens of thousands of views, right? And so a friend of the channel, also a contributor, Daniel Batal, he does live streams as well. But then he has these like pre-recorded videos that he does that have like 250,000 views, right? None of his live streams have 250,000 views, at least I don't think. There's just something about the algorithm, and also people, when they wanna learn something and they need to learn something quick, they see that short 7-minute, 10-minute video, they're gonna get what they need. You can do the chapter markers, they're gonna get what they need. It's just there's gonna be more views. So again, why am I saying this? Some of the other content you need to be creating is not live streams, right? I love live video, but you also need to be creating pre-recorded, edited videos that are shorter, to the point, and punchy. Today's live stream could be an 8-minute video, easy. I could literally be like, here are the things you need to be considering that's go beyond going live. Boom, 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 boom. And it would be a short video, and it'd be like, people would be like, oh wow, I didn't think about those things. We might make it maybe we will make it a video. I don't know. Daniel, do you want to make this a short video? I don't care. We can do it. But either way, my point is that pre-recorded video supports the efforts you're making with your lives. Okay. That pre-recorded video does support, and it is going to help you reach more people. It's a form of marketing. The short form is also a way to sprinkle your stuff out there. People will find the shorts, and then they will find you, and then they'll need to learn more about you, right? Podcasts, same thing. People just love podcasts. Podcasts are like not going anywhere. They are still crazy popular, and they're not going anywhere. So consider a podcast. It's another media for you to create. It's very similar to live. And the reason I like podcasts and live is you can literally sit down and plan a live video. You can do a live video, but then you can literally sit down and go record a podcast. Super easy. That content, that way you planned it, is very similar. And you can reach two totally different audiences. And then you're going to have that email list so they can subscribe, and they're going to hang out with you even more. So again, create other content. I mentioned webinars and workshops as well. That is like in the advanced stages. We will talk about that. We are going to be talking about webinars. We are going to be talking about workshops. We're going to be talking about virtual summits, all those things on this show. And as we get going. So we're definitely going to talk about that. The other thing that I want to make sure that we talk about, there's two things. One is I want you to network and collaborate with others. So your live streams, right? You are creating live videos. I also want you to have guests on your show. I want you to go be a guest on somebody else's show, because this is going to help bring more people into your world. I want you to consider collaborations with just brainstorming with other people. Look at other people that do what you do. How can you guys work together? Get out there, put yourself out there and network, literally physically network as well as virtually network. And then one of the coolest things right now that you can do so easily is you can bring a guest on your show, whether it be a guest on your podcast or a guest in your live stream, very easily with StreamYard. So simple. And you can now deliver even more for your audience because you're bringing somebody in. I will be having guests on this show, big names, awesome people who are out there, industry experts, to talk about webinars, email marketing, videos, editing videos, all the things to help support what we're trying to do here. Those guests are going to come on the show, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, she's got so-and-so on the show. I love that person. Oh, this is so cool. Some of you are going to be like, I've never heard of this person. And then you're going to go check them out. And because they have a website, you're going to be able to learn about them. And then they're probably going to have an email list. You're going to subscribe because they're going to have this really cool checklist for you that you really want. And so you're going to subscribe to the email so they can email it to you and you can download it. And then you're probably going to go subscribe to their podcast or their YouTube channel or whatever. And you discovered them all because I had them as a guest on the show. That journey I just described, people will do that for you too if you're a guest on other people's shows. So again, I want you to think about collaborations, bringing other people in for you, and you also putting yourself out there and going out and being on other people's shows. StreamYard makes this so freaking easy. So easy. Like a cakewalk easy. So easy. Send them a link. They join your show. Boom. You deliver an amazing show for people with guests. So that's huge. Okay. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to take a little bit of time, a few minutes to answer some questions. You got to drive traffic to your channel. You got to talk about it. You got to share it. You have to deliberately tell people to join your channel or to join your live stream or to come over. You have to ask people to do things. This probably should say, tell people what you want them to do is probably what this should say. In fact, I'm just going to do that right now. Here we go. because I love uh because StreamYard's so cool. I can't type and talk at the same time. Here, just change that banner on the fly, just like that. Tell people what you want them to do. Do you want them to subscribe? Do you want them to join? Do you want them to tune in next week to February 17th? Because I'll be live again at noon. By the way, I want you all to tune in, not next week, February 17th at noon when I'm live again, talking about the customer journey and being intentional and strategic. Tell people what you want them to do. Tell them about your lead magnet so that they subscribe to your email list. Tell them about your webinar that's coming up. When you're out on social media, tell them to go join your lives. Tell them about your lives. Tell them it's coming up. You have to tell people what you want them to do. You can't just walk in downtown, go in the back door, hang out in the store and expect people to know what you want them to do. Tell people might walk in your store, but what if you have all these other things? Tell them about them. You have to share your stuff. You have to share about it with others. And so I want to make sure that you're doing that. That sounds like such a basic thing, but 100% you would be shocked. Like the Facebook community. Are you guys in the Facebook community? You should go join the Facebook community because you can actually ask all kinds of questions in there and you get help from other people like you. You get help from experts. You can get support from the StreamYard team in there. And you can also just feel like you're part of something. But I have to tell you about it. And I have to tell you to go over to Facebook, search StreamYard community, and it will show up. And then I want you to join it. And then I want you to get active in there. It's that simple. Go join it. Do it. I told you to. But if I didn't say anything about it, I'm assuming you're going to find it and know what to do, that I want you to join it. No, that's not going to work, right? There you go. So you have to tell people what you want them to do. And that's the last thing I wanted to share today. And we will talk about that more. Again, this entire show, which by the way, we're calling it Master Your Marketing with Melanie right now. We might change the name. I don't know. It's brand new. It's brand new. Right? If we sit back and try to make it perfect, it would never get launched. So we're out here doing it. But this show is going to be every 2 weeks. And we're going to be talking about how you can reach your goals and how you should be marketing yourself, because it's not just about live streaming, right? You're here, you have a message to share, you have gifts to share with the world. And I want to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make the biggest impact you can make, whether that be helping other people with the products you sell that's going to make their lives better, it's going to make you money, or whether it be getting your book sold or getting that deal you want, getting that TV deal you want, getting on the big stage, being in the movie finally and getting your Oscar, right? All the things we talked about earlier in the show. I just want to help you do that. And that's what this show is going to be about. Because as I said, when StreamYard got started, it was just a live streaming tool. It was just a way to go live and do it in a cooler way than on your phone, share your screen, have guests on your show, do fun things. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that now. And so we will also talk about how StreamYard can support all of these efforts that I'm describing and how they all go together. StreamYard is so much more than just a live streaming tool. It is now a marketing tool. It's a marketing platform, a way for you to create content, to get yourself out there, to reach whatever goal it is that you have. And that's what this show is going to be about. So that's right. Next show will be February 17th, noon Eastern again. Okay, let me check out some of the questions. I hope that you guys found today's stuff. I hope you found it this good. I hope you found the content I shared today thought-provoking. I hope your mind is buzzing. I hope you're going to have a lot of really cool questions coming up on the shows. And I definitely I hope that I've got you thinking bigger than you were before today's show started, because that is what it's about. It's bigger goals, bigger marketing, bigger things so that you can make it happen. 100%. Okay, let's see. All right, let me see. I am going to grab questions. Andrew's here. Andrew Kavanaugh's here. Hello, Andrew. It's good to see you. Okay, wheels are turning, Vicky said. Think bigger, the Creator Classroom said. Fantastic. We should do a giveaway today. Do you guys want to do a giveaway? I can give something away. Do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway. I'm going to answer a few questions, and then we will absolutely do a giveaway today. I totally just realized on the fly that I should do that. So let me get that prompted. And I will tell you the hashtag to use in a moment. Hang out. I will do a giveaway today. We will give away something fun, and you guys will be able to get what you want from the shop. Okay. This is going to be good. 4 a.m., Marianne. I'll have to think of some later shows for you, so you don't have to get up at 4 a.m. But what a great way to start your day with my loud crazy fast talking. Okay, giveaway. Everybody wants a giveaway. Yay, 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 yay. Okay, this is gonna be good. All right, let me um get to too much talking without answering my question. Sorry, that's just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Okay, let me see here. We have a question. The Cutting Edge Force Lawn Service says, can you do a slideshow live and allow video too? Absolutely. You totally can do this. In fact, over on the YouTube channel, we have some great videos about sharing videos as well as doing presentations. There's two ways you can do this. You can upload videos right into your brand tab if you're on one of the paid plans, and you can play them right inside the studio. Or you can have a video prompted up on screen and you can share your screen and show the video that way. Same thing with your slides. You can either open up PowerPoint or Keynote or whatever over on a screen, share that screen, go through those slides, or you can now down and below the studio, you can actually present slides. So you can actually upload your slides into StreamYard Studio. They will be static. They will not have animations, and you can do them that way. So you 100% can do both with StreamYard. It's super easy to do. Let's see. Okay, so Cajun Roots Reseller says, after my live stream is over with YouTube, the live is no longer good for my channel and not pushed on the mainstream to push out to the new channels. So I think what this question is about your live video is good to go while it's live, but then once it's done, it can stay on your channel. You may have to change the way that your YouTube layouts are. Like, you have to customize your layout if you want that to show up on the channel, but it is there. But as far as, yeah, the algorithms pushing it out, that doesn't necessarily happen. We did talk about that a little bit, where I basically mentioned live is great, but it's probably not going to get the same organic reach that pre-recorded videos get. So live is good. There's a purpose for lives, and then there's a purpose for those shorter pre-recorded videos as well. But definitely be doing both, right? This is awesome. It is totally off topic, David. I would love this feature, by the way. Will there ever be a pause button on studio recording? You should definitely tune in Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Every Sunday, Dan and Gage, the founders, are live, and it's the Ask StreamYard show, the new repurposed Ask StreamYard show. And that is a great place for you to put that suggestion. You can also go to streamyard.com/contact, and you can put that suggestion in there. I personally would love that feature as well, because I use Screencast-O-Matic, and it has a pause button, and it's so awesome for the recording, for sure. Okay, this is related. So Fernando says, old but interesting question. When will StreamYard be available to broadcast Instagram? Technically, it's available already. So you just have to have the desktop streaming turned on. Is it desktop streaming? Turned on with Instagram. So Instagram is very slowly rolling out the unlocking the ability to use a streaming platform to stream to Instagram. You can now do that with our platform. You just have to have it approved on the Instagram side. And this is a feature that I would almost guarantee will continue to evolve, because, as many of you know, Instagram video format is vertical, and StreamYard's video format is landscape. And so I am sure that there will be some evolution to the feature as more of it comes about. So for sure. Same thing for TikTok as well. So let's see. Okay, let's talk about this one. Talking Topics with Tyler said, after going through some trouble with my mental health, which caused me to have self-doubt, I deleted my streams and content. Do you think it's worth trying to rebrand again? So the rebrand part, okay, first of all, I'm glad that you're better. I am so glad that you did whatever you needed to take care of yourself. I hope that you are helping and continuing to believe in yourself. I think everybody deals with self-doubt for sure. And I just wanted to say, I'm cheering you on. I'm cheering you on, my friend. So as far as deleting your old content, if you deleted it, meaning it's like gone, like recycle bin, empty, gone, then yes, you'll need to start from scratch to create new content. Do you need to rebrand? Here's what I would say. If you're starting from scratch, you don't have to rebrand, but it's a good opportunity to, if you want to rebrand. Like if you want something fresh, because you're starting from scratch, it is a great opportunity to launch with a different brand, right? So some of us who have been out there for a while, we might get tired of our brand, but then to change the brand, it is a little jarring, and it does sometimes have it can have a really quick, immediate, great result, or it can have a slower turn because you've made a change. So it's harder to rebrand once you have a brand established. So if you're feeling any kind of desire to rebrand, yes, do it now because you're starting from scratch. If you're going to launch or re-upload all the old stuff and it's branded with the old brand, then I would consider, I would probably consider creating some way of saying, here's the archive of information, and then I'm back, and here's what we're going to be doing moving forward. For example, this show, I used to be live on StreamYard's channel weekly, and I did a show called Ask StreamYard, and it was basically a Q&A show. We took a question, we took a deep dive on that topic, and we did Q&A the whole show about that specific topic. The next shows are going to be very similar. It's just not called Ask StreamYard. It's branded differently. It's also not just going to be about live video and using StreamYard's tools. It's going to be about marketing. So we have changed the show. In fact, Sunday's town hall with Dan and Gage used to be called the town hall. And we were like, the Ask StreamYard, that's a much better title for that show. So we basically just repurposed Ask StreamYard and moved it over to the Sunday night show with Dan and Gage because they are StreamYard. They're the founders. They're still very involved. So we rebranded that. So was it confusing for some people for a minute? Probably, but people get over it. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me see here. Okay. I don't know the answer to that question, so I'm just going to skip it. Let's see. How do you feel about having Linktree link rather than a website? Because I do not have a business per se. Okay. So you said per se. I like that because remember I was telling everybody, Valerie, I was saying you need to think of yourself as a business, right? So the Linktree thing, I like Linktree is, for those of you that don't know, it's a way for you how like Instagram, you get the link at the top and you just get the one link. So it's like, well, what do I want to promote? What if I have a bunch of things? A Linktree is a way, it's kind of like a website that has multiple links on it. It's pretty much what it is. So you could say, hey, check out, click on the link in my bio, and you click on that one link, and then it pulls up website, YouTube, lead magnet, whatever you want to be promoting or putting on there. That's what Linktree is. Okay. Now, having a Linktree rather than a website, personally, I think all Linktree is think of it as a list of hyperlinks. That's it. It doesn't tell anybody about you. It doesn't tell anybody. Yeah, it's a way for them to download a lead magnet or go to some certain, but it's just a bunch of hyperlinks. It's not a website, and you don't own it. You can't control what Linktree decides to do. Linktree may make changes and decide we're going to totally change the way this works. So a website, you have more control. So I still think you need a website, and that website link should go on your Linktree. There you go. So there's my answer to that one. Tara with Ruby says, would you consider thumbnails a part of marketing? Because thumbnails I struggle with most, and I would love to have an episode of you teaching us about that. Okay, so there are thumbnail experts in this world. There are people that's what they do all day long. They focus on thumbnails. I will tell you, I am not one of those people. I know enough to be dangerous. But there are definitely people I can think about having an expert, but I can also answer this question. I do consider your thumbnails an aspect of marketing. It is basically a cover photo. So if you think of a book, the cover of the book is so important. The title of the book and the cover of the book, because everybody judges a book by its cover, even though they tell us not to from a very young age. We all judge books by their covers. We just do. I don't know. It's part of human nature. People are going to do the same thing with your thumbnails. Your thumbnail is the cover of your video. They're going to judge it. If your thumbnail's not good, if it's not enticing, if it's not clear, if it doesn't do the right thing, they're not going to click through to watch the video. They probably just aren't, right? Especially new people. Now, loyal people, loyal followers, much more likely to not care about some of those things because they already know you. That's different. We're going to talk about that, by the way, on the 17th. We're going to be talking about the difference between people who don't know you and people that know you. And we're going to be doing that. So the thumbnails are important. However, what's becoming equally as important because of the way, again, these platforms make changes all the time to how everything works on them is that anymore. Have you noticed when you go to YouTube that your little feed is full of little preview videos? Meaning you scroll, and if you pause on that video, all of a sudden it starts previewing the video to you. So the very beginning of your videos is becoming equally as important as your thumbnail. And in fact, there's data out there that shows A lot of people never turn the volume on and they just will watch that video and read the captions, just the preview. They literally never click on it. They just stay in that little feed. And now you're all like, wait, what's she talking about? Literally. So the first you and the beginning of your video is becoming equally as important as your thumbnails. So yes, I think it's part of marketing because it is how you display and how you're enticing people to come into the video, right? So, um, let's see. Yes. Now people judge video by its thumbnails. Happy Valley Hobbies, 100%. I totally agree. All right. I'm going to answer like 2 more questions. And then I will absolutely close us out for today. And I wanted to, again, just remind you, if you're just now joining, I'm back, my friends. The show is called Mastering Your Marketing with Melanie. And we should probably just call it Mastering Your Marketing with Mel because that's really what I go by and that's what everybody calls me. But it's going to be the first and third Fridays of every month for the most part. Every once in a while, I might have a really awesome guest who literally is just not available on that Friday. And so there may be times that the time will be different. We may even have bonus episodes. In fact, I'm pretty sure we are going to have bonus episodes from time to time as well. So what better reason to make sure you don't miss that you have to subscribe to our channel and click on the get notifications so that you'll know when that's happening. Also, you'll get notified when we upload super great tutorials because the team has been creating amazing videos. So go check all those out. It's helping you learn how to use all the awesome videos or features that are out there that continue to get released and continue to get added to the platform. Let's see. Oh, I like this. Takeaway from this video: ownership is free. The creative lady is right. And again, having that website, having your email list, that's you owning your brand, owning your content, because any day, these platforms can make any change that they want at any time. I mean, I don't think this is going to happen, but like YouTube could literally be like, we're not doing live video anymore. We're just not into it anymore. You can't go live on YouTube now. And what if you were banking everything on that? Now you have no other way to even communicate with anyone. So again, it always ensures that you have control. Control and ownership is definitely a big piece of this. So Isabel says, what camera are you using to stream? It looks great. This is a Sony ZV-E10, and it has the Sigma 16 millimeter f1/4. I say that wrong. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It's basically a really nice camera with a really awesome lens that creates a shallow depth of field, which is why it's blurry in the background. And I've got 2 Elgato key light airs shining, and I've got fun lights in the background and all that stuff. So all those things kind of go together, but that's the camera I'm using, and it is going into an ATEM Mini, all of which would be required if you want to use a fancy camera as a webcam. So there's a quick answer to that question. We can definitely geek out on some gear and some upcoming shows because I know everybody likes that. So I do know that people like geeking out on some gear. So, okay, let's do a giveaway for those of you that are still here. I almost forgot. So I want you to put in your comments. Only type it once. You don't need to type it more than once because it will only count your entry one time. But we are going to give away, I'm going to give away today because it's the first show, right? It's the very first show that we're doing for this new show. We're going to do $100 gift certificate, if you will, credit to the shop, the StreamYard shop. You can buy sweatshirts, mugs, t-shirts on there. You can buy puddles. You can buy puddles, right? My daughter steals puddles all the time, and I stole puddles, and I've been hiding him in my little drawer over here. But this is puddles. You can buy puddles for people right here, little puddles. So anyways, we will get you access to being able to spend that $100 over on the store. So if you want to do that, I would like you to type into the comments right now, think bigger. Hashtag think bigger. Let me put that on the screen for y'all so that you can do that. Hashtag think bigger. You do not need to worry about capitalization. However, do not put a space in there all together. Hashtag think bigger, because that is what I want you to be thinking about. Think bigger than just clicking live, going live. It's more than that. There's so much more than that. And I want you to be thinking bigger about yourself. I want you to be thinking as your content. I want you to be thinking like a business. And I want you to be making sure that your goals they truly match your dreams. Stop thinking small. Stop being easy. Stop creating small goals because you're afraid you won't hit the big goals. Again, you are a star. We talked about this. People who are trying to be on the movies and win an Oscar, They have to realize they are a star today. They just haven't been discovered by the right people just yet, right? So that's the only reason. They're a star right now. You are a star right now. And you're growing and you're going to grow and you're going to use all these marketing methods to go even bigger, right? So you are a star now. You need to think bigger. Everything about what you do, everything about what you're doing right now, think bigger. If you don't have a website, you need a website. If you are just going live, you need to think about maybe doing a podcast, doing other videos, think about having guests on your show. Think bigger. You've got to start thinking bigger. So I see Kirk Nugent in the comments. My friend Kirk is here. Where is that? I saw him somewhere. He's here somewhere. Kirk, it's good to see you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, let me get this thing going here. Think bigger is what we are doing. Okay, start collecting comments. I'm going to pull that in now. We have 32 entries so far. I'll give you guys another minute. Share screen. So, by the way, this tool is free to all of you. If you're a StreamYard user, you have this giveaway tool. You are going to use this giveaway tool and you're going to have some good stuff. So Kirk says, good to be here. I miss you, my friend. We got to get together. Okay, so I love it. John says, yes, I'm a star. Hashtag think bigger for sure. Okay, so we're going to do this. We've got entries coming in. We're going to draw it. And while it's drawing, I'm going to let it kind of give you the results there. I am going to put a banner up so you know what to do. Oh, USA live stream. You are the winner. You just won $100 credit to our store. So what you need to do, you need to send an email to marketing@streamyard.com. And there you need to let them know I won the giveaway on today's show. I'm taking a screenshot right now so that we have proof that it's you that won today. So actually, I'm gonna put that over here, right here. You are the winner. I'm taking the screenshot. I will send it to the marketing team so that they have you as the winner. And we will get you whatever you want. You have a credit to the store, $100 credit. You can buy a sweatshirt, you can buy t-shirts, and of course, little puddles. Puddles is the best. So again, I want to thank you all for being here today. This was super fun. I literally am so excited to be back on the channel regularly again. And I just want to remind you, every first and third Friday of the month is the plan right now for this show. Master Your Marketing with Melanie. I'm Melanie. I'm the girl. I'm going to help you do all these things. As we talked about today, think bigger, go bigger, and get those goals met and have an awesome time doing what you're doing because you're putting in all this work. And we want to make sure that it's all for a reason. And I know you're not just doing it just to do it. Some of you might be, but don't you want to do it just to do it and get more people to see what you're doing and get what you're trying to, the impact you're trying to make, financial freedom, all your goals. Be thinking about those goals because in 2 weeks, you need to have those goals thought out because we're going to get intentional and strategic. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in 2 weeks. That's what our next show is going to be about. So it's about understanding the customer journey, understanding your journey so that you can be strategic and intentional because that's what this is about. All right, my friends, I will see you next time right there, February 17th at noon. Otherwise, in the community. I love you all. Thanks so much for being here. It was really a lot of fun. And you guys did a great job in the comments. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.